സ്നേഹാലോകസുമോഹനവദനാം കരുണാർദ്രാനത നയനാം രമ്യാം ശ്രിതജനപാലന വ്യഗ്രാം സൗമ്യാം അമൃതാനന്ദമയീം പ്രണമാമി. My humble salutations at the lotus feet of Amma, and my humble pranams to all my divine brothers and sisters. In Sanskrit, there is a word dhara, which means continuous flow, like a river moving from the source towards the ocean. If you reverse the written word in Sanskrit, the word dhara, it becomes Radha. She was the most beloved of Sri Krishna. Radha is like the river moving towards the origin, not towards the ocean. Only if one reverses the direction of this dhara, one becomes a Radha. Not moving towards the goal, but going deeper and deeper towards the source. We are part of this infinite universe. Once the earth was one with the sun. After the explosion, it got separated. It wants to merge back with the sun. The pain of separation is still there. But the force generated by the explosion in the opposite direction makes it impossible. And the planet helplessly rotates without being able to come closer to the sun. It is a perpetual circumambulation, pradakshina, like we do before the deity in a temple. All the objects of the world are in constant prayer. Only human beings are trying to live in this world with a lot of selfish desires. But still, all of us are searching for God knowingly or unknowingly. We are searching for happiness, but no worldly happiness can satisfy us. That is why we are searching again and again. God is the embodiment of bliss. Sometimes we think that we are experiencing happiness, but it cannot be compared with the bliss. When a baby cries for milk, today's mothers put a plastic pacifier in his mouth. He might stop crying. After some time, he realizes the fact that nothing is coming out. Again, he starts crying. When he continues crying, the mother may give a bottle of milk. Finally, when the baby realizes that these are all tricks, he begins crying intensely without paying any attention to anything else. Then the mother will stop her work and embrace the baby with a lot of love and affection and try to calm him down by giving breast milk. The baby cannot get this affection and warmth of his mother's body from bottled milk. If his crying were only for his hunger, then bottled milk would be enough. But he was crying for something else. Nothing can satisfy him other than the affection of his mother. In this way, we have experienced the bliss of unity when we were one with the Supreme in the beginning of this creation. Then how can we get satisfaction from this duality? Our life becomes a hell when everything is divided. We are leading a life of contradiction. We are in a totally confused state. Man is a confusion. Confusion between the body and the soul. Confusion between the material and spiritual. Confusion between logic and love. Out of this confusion, there is no possibility of knowing God. Out of this confusion, we will not be able to see the light of real knowledge. We have to drop this confusion. Amma says, only love can help us to achieve this. Divine love means an intense desire to disappear in the whole. It is not the love we know, it's a totally different phenomena. Water has three states: solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. In solid state, it becomes an ice cube. Becomes water in the liquid state. It can also become steam. There are three types of people in this world. Some are like ice cubes. They are very rigid and not at all flexible. They cannot express love or accept love. Their mind will be closed always. Amma says, when somebody is very thirsty, water is needed, not ice cubes. These human ice cubes becomes useless in life. The second types are like water. They are flexible and they can love. But their love can flow only in certain directions. Water cannot flow against the gravitational force. It will be easy for some people to love their family members or relatives. They can love those who support them. The force of attachment make it possible for them to love certain people. But it will be difficult for them to direct their love against the force of their attachments. But Mahatmas are like the vapor. It is much more powerful than water. It can spread all over the world and shower the rain of bliss through their divine love. It can spread anywhere and flow in any direction. Amma is the living example of that unlimited love. Ordinary love is an effort of dominate the other, to possess the other, to exploit the other, and it is always changing. It is not accidental that couples are continuously fighting and loving also. Every fight eventually comes back to love because worldly relationships are like a pendulum. By and by, it becomes such a condition that if they don't fight, they cannot love. The husband may be fighting with his wife, but unless some negotiation happens, he cannot feel at peace, at rest. So the husband may try to apologize for his wrong behavior. My darling, what I really wanted to do was give you a hug, but somehow I knocked you down. I am very sorry. Then the wife would say, don't worry, my dear. I was trying to call you by darling one, but when the word came out, it became my dirty pig. After a fight, the husband will bring ice cream, flowers, or new dress. The wife also will make some very delicious food and offer to him with a lot of love. They will share their love for some time and prepare for the next fight. One day, one lady was purchasing plates from the supermarket. She bought many plates which were very cheap and a few better quality plates. Seeing this, one of her friends asked her, why are you buying so many cheap plates and a few good ones? The lady answered, these good plates are for serving food and the cheap plates are for us to break while fighting. We are not that rich to break costly plates, you know. In a neighborhood, every evening there was a quarrel between the husband and wife in each house. It would start in the evening and continue till late night. Once a new family came and started staying there, there was always laughter in that house. The neighbors started wondering why there was laughter in that house all the time. They must be a really blessed family. All of them became very jealous of that couple. While there was fighting and screaming in other houses, here this new couple was laughing and enjoying all the time. They thought to themselves, how is it possible to live like that? All husbands and wives started discussing this and they forgot to fight with each other. Because of the new family, they decided to change their lifestyle. Finally, they succeeded in stopping their fights. They really wanted to thank the new family and also wanted to find the secret behind their happy life. One day, they approached the husband and asked him how he and his wife could laugh all the time, especially when they are in the house together. First, he hesitated to reveal the secret. Then the husband said, "It is not very difficult. You have to buy some plates and cups." They did not understand why plates and cups for laughing. That is the secret. He said, "Truly speaking, in my house also there is fighting all the time. When we fight, I throw plates and cups at my wife. When it hits her, I laugh, and if it misses, my wife laughs. And when she throws cups at plates, if it hits me, she laughs, and if it misses, I laugh. So one of us gets a chance to laugh all the time." It is just a story, so please don't try this method in your house. We are living in a kind of sleep. We need a certain awakening. That is the function of a master. He hits the disciple, but not physically. The master hits in a totally different way, which wakes up the disciple. And certainly the master has to be merciless. Out of compassion, he has to be merciless. He has to hit hard on the head of the ego. Just a good hit on the head and one wakes up. All methods of meditation are nothing but certain ways of hitting the very source of our slumber. Once we start awakening, just a little wakefulness is enough to remind us what we have forgotten. To be with a master is possible only if we love him immensely, because someday the master is going to strike you. Unless we trust, we won't allow anybody to hit us. It is going to be a surgical operation. You have to trust the surgeon, because you will be on the table unconscious, and who knows what the surgeon is going to do. We need that kind of dedication to the master. To be with a master, one has to understand that love is more valuable than life itself. The relationship between the master and the disciple is a love story. It is the highest peak of trust, because it is the greatest operation. There is no other operation bigger than this. Our whole life has to be transformed. It is possible, but one just has to allow it. Life is such a wonderful mystery. I am remembering an incident that happened years ago, just a few months after I met Amma. At that time, I was studying in college. After meeting Amma, it was very difficult for me to be away from her. In those days, there was no ashram, only Amma's parents' house. So we were not allowed to stay there except during Bhavadarshan days. Those days, Amritsarivananda Swamiji and I, our names were Balagopal and Sri Kumar, used to go to Amma very frequently, and Amma started giving us a lot of affection and attention. In those days, Amma had a few householder devotees who were very attached to Amma. They didn't want anybody to become closer to Amma than them. But Amma started showing so much love and compassion towards us. She showed even more love than an ordinary mother. Even while talking to those close devotees, when she saw us, she would get up and hold our hands, inquire whether we have eaten anything or not. Then she would talk to us for a very long time. Not only that, she would eat with us, sing with us. Those householder devotees became very jealous and started making complaints against us. Those days, we were totally in a different mode. The turning point of our life from the material world made us very quiet and calm. We gave up all the contacts of this world, and there was only one thought in mind. That was Amma. We didn't understand anything about Amma, but we came to know one thing, that Amma is the embodiment of love. We had never seen this kind of love anywhere else. Without any effort, we could forget about this world. We forgot to eat, forgot to sleep, forgot everything about our external life, and became like little children. So Amma started feeding us with her own hands. Amma started washing our clothes. In olden days, one has to serve the Guru for many years to get accepted by the Guru as a disciple. Here the Guru was serving the disciples because of her infinite compassion. Those close devotees thought that they are going to lose Amma's love because of these college boys. They started discussing with each other about a solution. They tried to advise Amma, saying, "Mother, do not trust these college boys. They are not coming here because of devotion, but just for fun. Because you are giving lot of attention, they are coming again and again." They even complained to Amma's father. We were unaware of these incidents. One day, when we came to Vallikkav, we saw Amma having a discussion with those devotees. She saw us, but did not pay any attention to us. We thought that Amma must be discussing something very important, and didn't go near her. We did not want to disturb Amma, so we sat little far away from her. Usually Amma would call us and ask us to sit near her, but this time that didn't happen. Even after her discussion, she didn't look at us and talk to us. Why this sudden change? We couldn't find a reason. During bhajans in those days, I was the one who played the harmonium for Mother and sat very near to Mother. She didn't even look at my face. Usually, she would tell me which song she is going to sing so that I can play it on the harmonium. But that day, she started singing without mentioning the beginning of the songs. During Bhavadarshan, even when we went for darshan, she didn't look at us, just gave prasadam. This continued every day. We shared our sorrows with each other. We didn't knowingly commit any mistake. Then why Amma is ignoring us? Almost 1 month is over. Day and night we started pondering about this. We stopped eating but continued to come to see Amma. There was nobody to ask us if we had eaten or not. One day, when I was waiting for Swamiji at the Ochra temple, which is a very famous Shiva temple near Vallikkav, I saw a lady saint sitting in deep meditation. I have seen her many times, never seen her with her eyes open. When I was walking near the banyan tree where she was sitting, she opened her eyes and called me. When I came near her, she gave me a packet of fruits, then smiled at me and closed her eyes again. I wondered how she knew that I hadn't eaten anything for many days. I felt that Amma was working through this yogini. Still, I made a resolution that I would eat only directly from Amma's hands. By that time, Swamiji also reached the place, and both of us went to see Amma. As usual, Amma was sitting with those devotees and talking to them. We went near her and put the fruits in front of her and prostrated. We sat little away from those people. Then Amma got up and walked towards us. She caught hold of our hands and went inside the temple. She started showing lot of affection, but didn't speak. I looked in her eyes. Her eyes were filled with tears. It was too much for us to see Amma's tears. The dam of sadness broke out. Both of us burst into tears. We couldn't say anything. My darling ones, Amma broke the silence. Amma never wanted to make you suffer like this. Those devotees were saying that you are coming here only because I am showing lot of affection to you. There was no other way for Amma to prove my children's innocent love. I wanted to show them my children will continue to come even if I ignore them. She asked forgiveness for her cruel act. She opened the packet of fruits given by the yogini and asked us to eat. After many days of fasting, we ate those fruits given by Amma. Thus we came to know that Amma can never ignore us. Even when physically she is not available, we can experience her affection anywhere and everywhere. As a teacher, she would show different expressions. One devotee said, Amma is Kali and also Kalli. In Malayalam, Kalli means mischievous one. Even though she is the Divine Mother all the time, she has to act differently, sometimes to teach us certain important lessons in our life. Thus I came to know that she is a good actress as well. Her aim is the happiness of her children. She wants to take us to the highest plane of happiness, to make us enjoy the bliss of eternal freedom. She binds us with the rope of love. A master is one who fulfills the longing of our hearts. We simply find that we are in love. Our heart feels at home. It has found a treasure. And when we come closer to the Master in our love, in our trust, our peace deepens. Our silence becomes not something dead, like the silence in the graveyard, but something singing and dancing alive. Master makes our life simple. Actually, life can become so simple. The mind wants to make it unnecessarily complicated. If one is courageous enough to leave the mind and live spontaneously, that is real renunciation. I am remembering another incident. One day, Swamiji and I were going to Vallikav. It was on a Bhavadarshan day. We were supposed to reach there before the evening bhajan started. Those days, there was only few buses to go to Vallikav. We reached the main town, Kayangulam, which was 10 miles away from Vallikav. We waited there for a long time, and it started raining also. After a long wait, we went inside a restaurant to drink tea. We were not yet brahmacharis at that time. We were sitting there inside the restaurant and looking outside to find out if any bus is coming for Vallikav. Suddenly, the waiter brought a plate full of some special food items and kept in front of us and disappeared. Actually, we had only ordered tea. So we waited for the waiter to come. He was so compassionate, he didn't come. Finally, we decided to eat that. After some time, the waiter came back with the bill. Both of us got shocked when we saw the bill. It was really a shocking bill. We did not have that much money in our pocket. Both of us took all the rupees and coins from our pocket and counted. It was just enough to pay the bill. But what to do about the bus charge? We paid the bill. We have to reach Vallika before the evening bhajan. So we decided to walk. We started walking and it was raining heavily and we didn't have an umbrella. After a few minutes, a car came near us and stopped. It was a devotee of Amma, and he insisted for us to get inside the car. We got inside the car soaking wet. We asked him why he came through this bus stand instead of going straight through the highway. Then he said, when he reached near this town, he felt that Amma is asking him to go through this way. We didn't tell him the restaurant story and thought to keep it as a top secret, like our mantra. When we reached Vallika, Amma was waiting for us to start the bhajan. Seeing us, Amma started laughing loudly. The devotees didn't understand the joke. They started looking at our faces without knowing what has happened. We prostrated at her feet. While laughing, Amma wiped our head with her shawl. I whispered in her ears, Amma, please don't tell this to anybody, okay? She started telling loudly to everyone that Srimon and Balimon ate everything from the restaurant, spent all the money they had, and finally I had to send a car to bring them here. Amma continued to explain the minute details of the incident. And everyone started laughing with Amma. Then she turned towards us and whispered in our ears, don't worry. I know that it was not your fault. I do not want you to starve for a long time. That was why the waiter brought food without any order. It was not his fault either. I did it. I won't allow you to starve anymore. This kind of experience gave us a lot of confidence in our life. We felt that our life is completely under the divine protection of Amma. So we tried our best to follow her teachings in life. Amma says, whenever God gives you something, He never gives to you. He gives through you. He gives to you, but His way is to give through you. So if you are not sharing, you will start missing the gift from God. Like the clouds share its rainwater with the earth, the sun shares its rays with all the trees, all the animals, and all the human beings. Amma says, the more you give, the more you get. You simply function as a passage. If you stop giving, your passage becomes closed and nothing can enter into you. If you draw water from the well, water will keep on coming into the well. If you go on taking water, more water will come. If the well is not ready to share its water, no fresh water will come. If you close the well without allowing anyone to take water from it, the water will become stagnant and will start stinking. Share, and more will come to you. If you can share totally, not holding anything, the totality will come to you. The coming from God will be depending upon how much you have given. God is not giving actually. He is allowing us to take. We can receive as much as we can. The quantity depends upon our mental purity and capacity. Whenever there is an awakened person, God becomes real. To be really a man means to become a space for God to dwell. Mahatmas never argued about God. They themselves were the proof. There are people who always argue about God. Even if they meet God, they will argue with them. Arguments keep them blind. For seeing, silence is needed, not arguments. For seeing, love is needed, not logic. For seeing, intellectual knowledge is not needed, but a totally different state of mind is needed. It is a state of mind where thoughts have disappeared. When the mirror of mind is reflecting nothing, it becomes absolutely pure. Not even a ripple of thoughts. In that silence, in that mirror-like purity, we need not go anywhere else to see God. God is a presence. Amma says, meditate and discover godliness in your own being. That is the beginning of a new discovery. Then we start discovering it in others. Then we can feel that whole existence shines in that divine beauty of God. Amma's words and action give us an insight into the heart of an awakened one. We should try to know about her vision, how Amma sees the world, how she feels, what is her understanding of this world. But we should be able to listen to her words very carefully. Everybody knows how to hear, but very few people know how to listen. Hearing is simple. Listening is an art. Be a listener always. Amma's words can reveal to us a totally new vision of life. Try to use this opportunity as much as you can. We must have the surrendering attitude. Allow Amma to work through us. For that, we should become like a musical instrument in Amma's hands, so that our life itself becomes a kind of divine music which inspires the entire humanity. We can pray to Amma for that kind of dedication and mental purity to receive her infinite grace. Namah Shivaya.